Alright, I think we're on. And we're playing Falling Sky. We left off turning up the card Roman Wine. So now we gotta look at that and see what's going on. It's been a couple days, so I kind of have to reacclimate myself, but that's fine. I think everyone's patient. And will be patient with me as I'm patient with myself and patient with you. Who's first? It's going to be Mars, our shopper. And Mars needs to look at what this card is and the next card, because she's going to be first on the next card as well. So, this card is Roman Wine. Luxury good. Is Roman Wine a luxury good? Remove either up to any 4 allied tribes, not citadels, under Roman control, or up to 2 adjacent to Roman control. There isn't a ton of Roman control out there. It's really just here. So she could remove 2 adjacent to that, but that's not that exciting to her. Or Romanizing tribes lose taste for war. Remove 1 to 3 Roman or Aedui allies total from Roman Aedui supply lines. The supply lines seem to always be renegotiated unless I'm reading something wrong. So... Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that reading of it's going to matter. Though, you know, if it does, I could look into the playbook, because they tend to explore further what these events mean. The other one that Mars has to decide whether she wants to act on, because she could always pass on this card and get to work on the next one, is Consuetudine. Whole life in hunting and military activity. All Germanic warbands to hidden, then conduct an immediate Germans phase as if winter, but skip March, and all Germans ambush. I don't think she's that interested in doing that. That would mainly hurt the Romans, and now that she's no longer about to win, I think she kind of wants the Romans to come back and do a little more. So, whoops. Taking that option would just hurt her current allies, the Romans, because there's a bunch of barbarians right here in Provincia, which is really bad for Broccoli, actually, because they could seriously hurt her legions that are sitting there. But fortunately, Broccoli is going to get to respond to this card coming up, no matter what Mars does, because if Mars passes, then, you know, great, Broccoli gets a full command plus special activity. And if Mars takes the event, she gets the same thing. Yeah, and I think Mars is hoping that the Romans aren't going to spend their time taking the event to take out her allied tribes here and here. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, feel free to ask. I will try to help. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I will try to explain a little better. For right now, I'm just going to kind of just be talking. So yeah, I don't see a particular reason for Mars to pass, except that it would help the Romans move forward. She's not the biggest threat to them right now. She's been severely beaten back by the Arverni. So actually, I think she will pass on this one, take the resource, and then act on the next one. And that's going to let Broccoli do something about the impending possible German threat that the Consuetudine. I pronounced it better the first time. So what are her options? She could recruit and just put some people down there. I think that would only give her like 2, maybe. Yeah. So that's not that exciting. She might need to march her armies back to Provincia in order to protect it. But that feels like not the best use of a turn, because she gets a special ability plus a command, a full command. So she would like to do a little more than that. Yeah, and even if she like scouts out all these warbands, they just immediately go to hidden anyway. So the scouting wouldn't even prevent them from becoming hidden, because this consuetude person is so great. It's really tough. She could march plus build and at least get an ally down there for later. Yeah, I think that's kind of what she has to do. It's kind of a little lame, but she doesn't want to lose any legions right now. And that will position her to then either strike out at the Arverni, or since she has Caesar with her, she can go up into the Belgique territory. Now both the Arverni and Belgique are in victory state. They're in the state where they would win if the winter comes up. I think the Belgique are doing a little better. So maybe it's not so bad to retreat, and maybe they'll start going at it with each other. The Arverni maybe being the aggressor. But that, I don't know. It's kind of a tough situation at this point. If she's in supply line, does she have to pay for the march? Yeah, she does. Does she want to march everything? Probably not. She wants to keep some control. That kind of helps her, right? Now, she doesn't actually have to march them down there, though. She could march the legions out of there so that there's just nothing there. But she would like to have control of this space and take care of the Germans anyway. So she'll take all the legions. Actually, so how much damage are they going to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she needs at least 5 these folks here. What are they called? Auxilia, to take the blows. And then I think she wants to keep all her legions with Caesar, just to kind of do that. And that's enough there to keep control. I think we're happy with that. We'll pay the 2. We'll pay another 2 to put down an ally. Yeah, this might turn out alright for her because, you know, kind of withdrawing a little bit makes it so that Babs has to make a decision about what to do about Pumpkin. It makes it so that Mars might have to make a decision about what to do about Pumpkin. Because Pumpkin is 2 above her victory margin. Babs is 2 here, but only 1 here. So I think you probably resort to whichever is less. Babs, the Arverni, they have 2 victory conditions. They have to meet both. And they are off-map legions, which maybe has even been adjusted. Yeah, it should only be 5 now. So she's not even in victory condition. But she's definitely the strongest of the other factions. So I'm amending everything I said. It's the Belgique, who are, I don't know which one to say. I've seen it written both ways, and I've been spending enough time just thinking about the game that I haven't thought about the pronunciation fully. Or not the pronunciation, but which word usage I should be using. Alright, so we're going to call that command plus special ability. Kind of, you know, I kind of have the inclination that you want to be moving a lot of different places when you have a full command. But then the Romans are kind of a hammer faction. They want to do a big bam, hammer. It's harder for them to just spread out and take care of a lot of different things. Kind of a classic coin dichotomy. The conventional power is more like strong in one place. The other powers are kind of more diffuse and able to like sneak around to different degrees. Now this game is very different. But let's move on to the next card. Okay, and we have... So this is going to be Mars working. Now Mars, what are you looking at here? You're not interested in the event. You're not going to work on the next card. So let's just go ahead and do a command plus special activity. You actually don't even care that much if the Belgique, or the Belgique, we'll just say Pumpkin, takes this event that messes with the Romans. Though it would cause them to kill one of your warbands. I don't think that's a big deal. Yeah, it would actually kind of hurt her a lot. Well, no, it would kill 2 of her warbands. Yeah, not that big of a deal. Alright, so back to Mars. She doesn't even care that much, except she does want Pumpkin to be taken down. Let's look at our relative stacks here. Yeah, we're still pretty early in this campaign. That's the distance between the winter cards, is what a campaign is. In a lot of the coin games. I don't know if it is in this or not. So she lost a lot of ground to the encroaching Arverni. But I don't know if she really wants to poke the Arverni right now, because she would like them to go after the Belgique. Not that they necessarily would. It's kind of a... Seems like maybe Babs would rather succeed by way of just hurting the Romans a little bit. Getting those legions off map. Oh, you know, we had two guys here we could march to. We'll march them up here. Does that cost... Let's see. March out costs 0. Yeah, so they could just march out for 0. And that just gives her a little extra insurance there. I forgot about this Gallia Togata thing that she did. Event. Alrighty, let's get in Mars mode. Let's quit getting distracted by little things. I think it would behoove her... It would be good for her to start removing some of this. Yeah, and she's in a position to suborn in 2 places, so she'll definitely do some suborning. Now, what does she want to do with that? She doesn't have a lot of other great options. She's not in any spaces where really do much else. She could just trade to get money. No, she could raid to get money. Yeah, let's raid to get money. And then we'll suborn in some other places. And call that good. Yeah, and she can raid against the Arverni and take away their money. They're going to act on the next card. Does she really want to do that, though? Maybe she wants to march and just get more people into Belgique territory. Really focus on bothering them. That doesn't really help her with her own goal, because she needs to be removing both Arverni and Belgique. She needs to have more allied tribes than the other factions that are barbarian. Plus on the othermost allies. This is tough. Alright, let's talk to Mars. Mars is a teacher. Her secret fantasy is to shop until she drops. An unusual fact is she collects cat items. Her pet peeve is people who talk too much. She'd like to meet Mother Teresa. Personal motto is something interesting each day. She's most proud of her husband. Too good to be true. Kind, shopper, good teacher. Not a lot that helps us. I mean, kind of the main thing we're getting from Mars's card that I've been using, and I would appreciate someone to correct me if they're seeing something else that I could read from that I'm not getting. And maybe, you know, I have this. I won't talk about that because that would be getting off topic. But I have this system that I kind of came up with that I could use to kind of help get some more information from the cards, other than just using the words per se to get a feel. Like kind of more mechanical, but not totally mechanical way to use them. Using the I Ching with it. So I think if I knew more about Chinese philosophy, I could, or like especially like the yin yang stuff, I could assign each line to a yin or a yang kind of position, and then use that to make trigrams, which have a meaning in the I Ching. And then help use that to guide the way they play. That might be kind of interesting. Because if you take out their name, right, there's 9 items. A particular hexagram in the I Ching is 6 lines. And so then you could have like a 3-line thing, which is kind of the ruling trigram, you know, which is either like mountain or sky or, you know, and then the more specific kind of like hexagrams underneath that kind of work with it. Something I've been thinking about, but I think I should just focus on making a play right now. So I think maybe she wants to do a march instead of a raid. She's got enough money, and she doesn't really want to shut out the Arverni because she wants them to hopefully go after the Belgique. So I think she's going to march. Just make sure they can't like harass her or anything. Yeah, she's gonna march up here. March over here. March over here. And there's no sense in her getting a bunch of people in a spot because the Belgique just kind of like outgun her everywhere. She could do 2 there because they could only get rid of 1 with an attack. So we have march 1 in from there. So what do? We did 2 from here. I should be marking these spots. I don't have all my pawns out, just so I can keep track of the money she's spending. So she marched out of here. She marched out of here. She marched out of here. That's only $3 so far. And she can march to other places. Now, she could march deeper into Arverni territory, like especially here. But that might cause the Arverni to act more defensively rather than offensively. So I don't think she wants to do that. I'm not sure that she's necessarily thinking about that, but I think she probably, yeah, I think we'll go that way. And does she want to march any more from here? I don't think so. I think that's enough of a force to kind of say, don't come in here. It's not going to be easy for you. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it at that. So 4, 3. I don't know, I said 4. 1, 2, 3. And then she's going to suborn in 2 places. I think she'll hit this one because it's nice and easy. She can actually get rid of all these guys. She'll do that. That's going to cost her 4. And give her control. And then I think it'd be nice if she had 1 extra person there. I think she's going to go ahead and suborn here instead of doing behind the lines. And again, she will just spend all her money that she can. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there, that's really nice. Okay, command plus special ability. Now it's Pumpkin's turn. We kind of have to shift gears, think about Pumpkin's point of view. Pumpkin has this nice way to like mess with the Romans with this event here, but at the same time, she's like just on the victory side of victory now after what Mars just did, and so she would like to maybe retaliate in some way. Now, does she want to retaliate? I think she might need to do a battle. The problem with doing a battle is she only gets a limited command. She can only take care of 1 of these Edui suborners, suborny weavers. Let's look at the next card, because maybe if the Arverni, who don't have much money, take the event, if the event is so nice for them, maybe she would get a full command then, and then she could get rid of all these Edui interlopers. Okay, remove 3 allies, 1 Roman, 1 Edui, and 1 Roman or Edui, not citadels. Or place 1 legion in Provincia. See, I don't know that she would waste her turn on that, because her main I mean, her main opponent is Rome, but Pumpkin is just doing too well. Though Mars could also just let the Adui take care of it. Alright? Let's talk to Mars. No! We're in Pumpkin's head right now. We can't talk to Mars. Alright, well, I think Pumpkin's not going to count on Mars taking that one. But I think she would like to pass anyway, because that will shut out the Romans from acting, and she doesn't want them to act. So she'll pass, and it can't hurt to get the $1. And then, of course, Babs is also going to pass. And she at least has $2 to spend instead of just the 1. Alright, flip to the next card. And that passing thing that the real people are doing, I think that might be my own bias. When I play this game, if I'm next on the next card, or if I'm first on the next card, I'll tend to pass in most circumstances, unless it's very, like, time sensitive. If you're first on one card and first on the next, it's a little different. But if you're second on one card and second on the next, it's sometimes still even better to pass then, because you keep someone else from acting. So you get the benefit of maybe a better action. Yeah. Though that German option, actually, I want to think about that again. I want to rethink this, because I'm actually not totally certain. I think I might have omitted something. Yeah, I think the Adui just became too annoying that she doesn't really want to mess with the German stuff, and the Romans have been pretty impotent most of the game. I'm going to stick with it. Alright. So we have Cotuatus and Con Coneto Dumbness. Alright. Now here's where that tendency might not be the best. My tendency. I'm going to move these over. I have them just out of frame. Not that you can really see the things on the top, but she's first on the card after this. So if she had acted on that card, she would have been guaranteed a full thing on the Arduena. But at least this way, yeah. So it probably would have been better for her to act. We didn't know, though. Alright, so I don't think she's interested in just removing people's allies right now. She more has a problem with Roman legions. We're talking about Babs now. It's Babs' turn. So now let's talk to Babs, right? I denied you that earlier. Babs, the horse trainer, to ride in the Olympic Games. She's studying Russian. That's her unusual fact. She doesn't like people who don't speak English correctly. She'd like to meet Mikhail Gorbachev. Her personal motto is make no assumptions. Now, I assume she was a communist, maybe, because just in that time period, if you were able to, marshal sympathy for the Russians, maybe it's because of their political ideology, which, I can see would be attractive. Most proud of riding her Grand Prix horse. Reputation in high school is honest, hard worker. 3 words that describe Babs are, who am I? That's what we're always trying to figure out, isn't it? Alright. I just want to remind myself of her capabilities. She amassed a couple capabilities early on, and she hasn't really used them. At the start of battles with 6 or more Arverni warbands, the other side first must absorb 1 extra loss. In any battles with their leader, Arverni pick 2 Arverni warbands. They take and inflict losses as if legions. Okay. So she's got the Belgique, which are close to victory, but the Adui are kind of addressing it, and the Romans may be going to do something about it. I don't think she's at the place where she really wants to go up against them herself. That would be kind of like, right at the end, you might want to do that. Like if it's getting really close to the winter card. But I think she feels like she has some space, and she's kind of got a comfortable spot here, except for the Adui who are sitting with her. So one way to do this would be to, I kind of feel like she wants to do a rally, and then maybe she doesn't have enough money to really entreat with that. so low on money. She could also raid and just get a bunch of money so that she can do stuff later. And then entreat along with that to get rid of a couple of the Edui. But there's still going to be one nearby, which is annoying. So to put down a citadel, let's look at that, because that would be an interesting option. She put down citadels in these two places. The Edui couldn't just take them away. It would cost her 2 to replace the citadels. I think it's wiser for her to get the money in first and then do something later. So let's do that. We're going to do a raid plus entreat. So that's $2. Another $2. I think she's going to keep those. Well, she'll do one of them. I feel like it's good to have someone hidden where you are. I don't know why. Another $2. Give her $1 there. And then we'll entreat twice. Probably I can only do it once, actually. Oh, you can do it multiple times. Alright, we'll entreat twice. Get rid of these two. Maybe over time, you'll be able to get rid of the other two. You just don't want any Edui where you are. They just take your people, take your things, especially if they have money. But they're getting low on money, so there's that to consider. Okay, so she did that. Now we're back to Pumpkin. Pumpkin's on the next card. Arduenna. Romans or a Gaelic faction may free march into either or both the Nervi or Treveri regions. This is the Treveri. Where's the Nervi? Oh, up there. Then execute a free command except march in one or both. Then flip all friendly pieces there to hidden. Okay, well, she probably definitely wants to act on that card anyway, because she's going to get a full thing other than just getting to remove someone else's allies. She's on the top. She's not so much concerned about getting rid of other people's stuff unless they're conflicting with her stuff, right? Okay, so she's going to pass, get a coin out of that. They'll say coin instead of dollars. And then the Romans, I think Broccoli will take the event just to get an additional legion. That doesn't seem bad. And I assume she takes it from the top row. Now we'll flip it over. Arduenna, and Surus is next. I gotta take a quick bathroom break. I'll leave it on this screen so it won't say we are waiting, because I think that's stressful if I'm not taking a longer break. Alrighty, we're back. Arduenna. Alright. So Pumpkin gets to act now. And she would like to get rid of all of these Adui if possible. But she would also like to build back up so she has a bit more of a cushion, right? Now, she has this rampage option where she could just like scare off the Adui and get them out of her space and then also rally with that, right? Which wouldn't be bad. She could also battle plus enlist and just like kill them straight up and then get the Romans to harry the Germans to harry the Romans a little bit, which could be exciting. But I think she might like the rampage option better. It doesn't fix things over here, though. Let's talk to Pumpkin. Alright. Pumpkin is unemployed. Her childhood nickname is Pumpkin. Her secret fantasy is to go to the South Pole and photograph penguins. She has an ankle that pops out of joint. She does not like it when people pull out in front of her and then slow down. She'd like to meet Margaret Thatcher. Personal motto is what happens, happens. Most proud of her bargain shopping skills. She had the squeaky cleanest rep in high school. 3 words that describe her are traveler, caring, animal lover. Alright. So her being caring tells me that she might rather just scare people away than kill them. I want to look at this rampage thing again, because I wonder, does it work if she doesn't have more than them? Oh, that's pretty cool. So it has to do with number, but you're not limited. It doesn't stop you from doing it if you have a smaller number. I'm thinking about Britannia here. She could like scare away a couple of these people just to get them out of this island. She's a traveler. She would like, and that translates to this game is that you would like to control farther off spaces, which kind of goes counter to the Belgique, because they just want to have Belgica. So I think she will rampage plus rally. I think that will be fun. They have to reveal themselves. I don't think that really matters in this case. They won't be able to ambush later. But, okay, so we're going to rampage. Do they get to decide which pieces, or does the opposing faction get to decide? They get to decide. So they'll retreat them across the water. And this one can't retreat anywhere, so it's going to die. This one's going to go back here. No, actually it's going to go here. And that's it for the retreat. So let's go ahead and do a rally. We'll go ahead and rally another ally here. It's going to cost 1. And then we'll rally 3 more folks here for another $1. And then we'll put 1 in Germany. That's going to cost $2, unfortunately, but lets her stay there. All right, that was a command plus special ability. And I think Mars is going to go ahead and pass and act on the next card. She doesn't want to just like march in and do stuff to the... Well, let's think about it another way. Okay, it doesn't have to be a fight that she's doing. So she could march into like these 2 regions. No, these 2 regions. Then she gets a free command. Yeah. I don't know what she would do there other than just like take some of their money. I don't know that that's that exciting. So she's going to pass. Get a coin off of that. go to the next card. And replace any 4 warbands in a region. This is Surus I'm reading. Aduan rebel defeated. Replace any 4 warbands in a region within 1 of Treveri with Adui warbands. Then the Adui execute a free command. That's pretty exciting. Again, the free command would probably be to just attack them, and I don't know that she wants to do that. She kind of likes suborning people better, but it is free. And the negative one for Mars, the Adui player, the blue player, in a region within 1 of Treveri, replace up to 4 Adui warbands with German, march, raid, or battle with them. So she definitely doesn't want to do the action plus special ability. Well, maybe she doesn't have to worry about it, because the Romans get to act next, and they're probably not going to mess with the Adui right now. So maybe she doesn't have to worry about it. The free command is attractive. Yeah, I think she'll do that because that'll give the Romans a free free command plus special activity too, and she would like to have them helping to get the Belgique out and the Arverni out. So where does she want to add them or replace? She could replace 4 here. Oh my gosh. She could try to kill Ambiorix. And I think she will. Yeah. She's going to replace those 4 with these 4. And then attack Ambiorix. Whew. Doing a battle. Alright. Opt for retreat. Defender takes losses per blow. Yeah. +1 per enemy legion. And do they reveal themselves? Yeah. So these are going to get revealed. It's good to get this taken care of because we might forget after the excitement of possible death of Ambiorix. Okay, there's a chance that Ambiorix is not dead. So we got to roll a 1 to 3. I guess she gets to roll. 1 to 3, she gets rid of Ambiorix. So 3. Ambiorix is dead. So what exactly just happened there? I don't understand why it says Aduan rebel defeated. So what? Oh, so were those Belgique like Aduan rebels, and then they like got them back on their side? Let's look at the playbook. I want to know the history of this one because it really kind of was a key moment in this game. When I play this off camera, I like to read each card, the history. Adui influence reached far and wide, and certain Adui also enlisted Germans in the Gallic Revolt. During the Roman mopping up campaign of 51 BC, Labienus captured several leaders of Treveri and Germans fighting him. Among them was an Aduan called Surus, a man of distinction in both courage and lineage, who alone of the Adui had still remained ready to fight. Alrighty. Well, that was rough for Pumpkin. But it didn't it actually did affect her victory margin. it's probably temporary. Because she has to have control plus allies. So she lost 3 control. Tense stuff now that Romans get to act. Now I think the Romans are feeling like the Adui are taking care of that, right? Broccoli? And since we've met everyone else as they've acted, let's go ahead and meet Broccoli right now. Or reacquaint ourselves with Broccoli. Because if you've been watching this game, you know Broccoli. Broccoli is a massage therapist. Childhood nickname Broccoli. Secret fantasy to live in a small cabin where she makes baskets and grow her food. I like that she really wants to make baskets. Like you could make other things if you lived in a small cabin, but maybe she wants to sell baskets or maybe to carry all the food she grows. But at some point, you're not going to need to make baskets anymore if it's just for your own use. First female from her high school to go to engineering school. Maybe she wants to figure out better ways to make baskets with her engineering skills. Her pet peeve is people who litter. She'd like to meet her paternal grandmother. Personal motto is keep learning. Most proud of an open-minded approach to life. Reputation in high school is brain, good kid. 3 words that describe Broccoli are facilitator, patient, and a grower. Alright, and that's kind of how we've been trying to play her. Someone who's just kind of trying to roam back over this rather than fight. But she's found that that's not really worked. And now she's got all these Germans in Provincia. Those are the black pieces here. Now, if she thinks about it in terms of like she's trying to keep the Arverni from winning because the Adui are gonna keep the Belgic at bay, which they had that kind of like sneaky event thing that helped with that. Then to just like go in and fight the Arverni is maybe not the way to do it, because if she loses legions, that helps them. But if she can get the Germans out of here, that wouldn't be a bad use of her turn. Except it's not really helping her anything in any way other than defensive. But that kind of makes sense with what we just found out. She's not going to really be going out and like intruding herself too violently into other people's affairs, even though she might need to. So she could just battle and destroy all these Germans, but then what's she going to do with her special ability? You don't want to lose that. She could scout out somewhere. She could try to take over Germany. Maybe she wants to scout some feelers into here. They would just die, though. She kind of wants to keep everything with Caesar. Sorry, I'm thinking a second. Roman ally or supply line with Romans. This is tough. And I can hear my son crying in the distance, so it's a little distracting to me when I hear that. He's a loud crier. My wife's with him. It's not like he's unattended and crying, but I can still hear it. So I'm like, oh, what's wrong? Do I need to intervene? That sort of thing. Maybe I'll check it out soon here, if it continues. All right. This is a tough. I say this like every time. I don't know why I keep saying this is tough. Well, because they are all decisions, and decisions can be tough. See, I really think she would just like to spend her turn getting rid of the Germans, but since she has the special ability along with it, which you don't get that often, it's like, why not use it? But none of her special abilities are particularly useful to her current situation. Like if she scouts away her auxilia, then she has no auxilia to work with. Though she could follow it up with a train, but then her auxiliary are just going to be out there in trouble. Potential trouble. She could also march. Yeah, she's not feeling aggressive enough to like march like right down Vercingetorix's throat and threaten him. You know what she could do? Well, scout's only one space, but she could scout. Can you scout multiple spaces? Any regions with auxilia? Okay. Here's what she's going to do to make it worth her while. She's going to scout these over here. Alright. And she's just going to scout out all these warbands here. She's going to scout the... just to get a placement there. It's going to get rid of Belgique control. I don't know if I counted that towards their score. I'll have to check that. And we'll also scout out this German. Why not? I guess he'll get his own little marker. I guess we'll use 3 scouting markers. Did our music stop? Yes, it did. I'll just press play again. Alright. So we'll scout there. I think that will be okay. And then we'll need to scout some more into here to kind of keep this place in her control. And this is like more than enough legions to just destroy all these Germans, because the legions are with Caesar, so that's 2 losses per legion. There's Auxilia on top of that. It's just like there's nothing they can do. They're all gone. Which, you know, if you're the Hammer faction, that should be how it works, right? You can just slam the hammer. If you're in one spot, and you have most of your forces there, you're gonna win. And that's what happened. Alright, so let's turn up the next card. Getting close to the time I should be stopping. So maybe I should stop right now? Just stop right now? Let's look at what we're talking about. And remove any dispersed from both Suebi. That's these over here. There's nothing dispersed there. Germanic ally at each that has none. Then alright. That's not going to do anything, the event. And then the next card, I have to look at them both because it's going to be Babs who gets to be first on either card. So she could pass on this card and look at the next one. The main reason she wouldn't pass, I think, is to just keep the Belgique from getting the command plus special activity. Keep this card by the winter track. This is Optimates I'm looking at. The next card coming up. Upon the game's second and each later victory phase, if Roman victory exceeds 12, first remove all legions to the legion track and end the game. Then end the game and determine victory. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So right now... Whoa, okay. So I think what that means is if the Arverni or the Romans choose that, and they would be the first 2 who would get to act on that card, it would decrease the Roman victory requirement by 4, but it might also like help the Arverni win. It kind of like changes the whole victory dynamic, right? Because removing all those legions would bump up the Arverni score and chance to win. So they might want to do it to, you know, it's like the kind of choice that could totally bite you hard, and that would be really hard to take. So I think I am going to stop it now and come back probably tomorrow around this time, but maybe a little earlier. So if you're here, I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you some other time, or I won't see you at all. All right. Thanks for coming by.